English 6, Quarter 3, Week 3. Evaluating narratives based on how the author developed the elements. Plot. It's time for review. In our previous module, we talked about setting and character. Let's read a story. In the Farm. It was a Sunday in summer when Danilo, together with his family, went to a farm remotely located in Barangay Paitan in Bulacan. In the farm, Danilo happily played with Bambi, his pet dog, while father and mother made themselves busy with farm work. Mang Jose, with some helpers, harvested 20 canvas of palay, which was 10% more than last year's harvest. Aling Nena cooked sinigang and fried fish for lunch. They ate together happily. The family enjoyed the day in the farm. Let us complete this graphic organizer. What is the title of the story? Correct. It's In the Farm. Now, what is the setting of the story? That's right. It's Sunday in summer, farm in Barangay Paitan, Bulacan. Now, who are the characters in the story? That's right. The characters in the story are Danilo, Mang Jose, and Aling Nena. The setting of a story is the context in a scene or story that describes the elements in which a story is taking place, including time, place, and environment. A character is a person, animal, being, creature, or thing in a story. Writers use characters to perform the actions and speak dialogue, moving the story along a plot line. Now, it's game time. Are you ready? "68 plus 11. That's right. It's 79. And that is letter P. 160 divided by 2. Correct. That's 80. And it's letter L. 22 times 4. Good. It's 88. And letter O. 45 minus 17. That's 28. And it's letter T. Good job! Today, we will be talking about an element of a story, which is the plot. But before that, let's answer the questions. How did you feel while doing the activity? What skills do you need to solve each problem? What do you think will happen if you did not put the right letter? Before reading the story, let's know the following words. Ancient, belonging to the very distant past and no longer in existence. Slave, a person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. Weary, feeling or showing tiredness, especially as a result of excessive exertion or lack of sleep. Roar, a full, deep, prolonged cry uttered by a lion or other large wild animal. Summon, call people to attend, especially in a meeting. Let's read. Androcles and the Lion. It happened in ancient times that a slave named Androcles escaped from his master and fled into the forest. And he wandered there for a long time till he was weary. Just then he heard a lion near him, moaning and groaning, and at times roaring terribly. And when he tried to get up, there he saw the lion coming towards him. Instead of attacking him, it kept on moaning and groaning and looking at Androcles, who saw that the lion was holding out its right paw, which was covered with blood, much swollen. Looking more closely at it, Androcles saw a great big thorn pressed into the paw, which was the cause of all the lion's trouble. Plucking up courage, he seized hold of the thorn and drew it out of the lion's paw, who roared with pain when the thorn came out, and soon after found such relief from it that he ramped up against Androcles and showed that he was truly thankful from being relieved from such pain. One day, a number of soldiers came marching through the forest and found Androcles. They took him prisoner and brought him back to the town, and he was condemned to death because he had fled from his master. Now, it used to be the custom to throw murderers and other criminals to the lions, and on the appointed day, he was led forth into the arena. The Emperor of Rome was in the royal box that day and gave the signal for the lion to come out and attack Androcles. What do you think it did? Instead of jumping upon him, it rubbed up against him and stroked him with his paw. It was of course the lion which Androcles had met in the forest. The emperor summoned Androcles to him. So Androcles told the emperor how the lion showed its gratitude for his having relieved of the thorn. Thereupon, the emperor pardoned Androcles and ordered his master to set him free, while the lion was taken back into the forest and let loose and enjoy freedom once more. Identify and describe each character in the story. What are the problems faced by each of the characters in the story? How is the problem solved at the end of the story? One of the elements of a short story is the plot. It refers to the sequence of events in certain narrative fiction. The plot may be presented such as chronological sequential arrangement of events. The events are organized by time or date by arranging events as a series of steps. Chronological sequential arrangement of events. Exposition. Beginning of the story where characters and setting are introduced. Rising action. Introduces and develops the main problem or conflict faced by the main character. Climax. The turning point or the point of greatest suspense or action. Falling action. This is where the characters work to solve the problem or conflict. Solution. End of the story where the conflicts or problems are solved. In media res, a Latin phrase meaning in the midst of things. It is used as a literary term to describe when a story opens with a character already in the middle of things or event. The narrative usually opens with a dramatic action rather than introducing background information of the character. Flashback, a device that moves the reader or audience from the present moment in a chronological narrative to an event happened in the past. Flashback are interjections that further explain a story or character with background information and memories. Let us try this activity. Evaluate the narrative to show the plot using the chronological sequential arrangement of events of the story Androcles and the Lion. Exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Exposition. Androcles escaped from his master and fled into the forest. He saw a lion moaning and groaning, and at times roaring terribly. Rising action. Androcles saw a thorn into the paw of the lion. He seized hold of the thorn and drew it out of the lion's paw. Climax. Androcles was found in the forest and was condemned to death. He was thrown into the arena to be preyed by a lion. Falling action. The lion came out, but instead of jumping upon him, it rubbed up against him and stroked him with his paw. It was the lion which he had met in the forest. The emperor summoned Androcles. He told him how the lion showed its gratitude to him. The emperor pardoned Androcles, and the lion was taken back to the forest. Complete the paragraph with the missing words. Choose your answers from the given words in the box. Flashback. In media res. Chronological sequential arrangement of events. Plot. The blank is the sequence of related events in a story. The plot may be presented through literary devices such as blank, in which events are organized by arranging events by series or steps. Also, blank, which is a Latin phrase meaning in the midst of things. Last, blank is a device that presents the reader all or most of the events that have taken place before the events that are currently unfolding in the story. Let us try another activity. The Lion and the Mouse by Aesop. A lion lay asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. A timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, and in her fright and haste to get away, ran across the lion's nose. Roused from his nap, the lion laid his huge paw angrily on the tiny creature to kill her. "Spare me," begged the poor mouse. "Please let me go, and some day I will surely repay you." The lion was much amused to think that a mouse could ever help him, but he was generous and finally let the mouse go. Some days later, while stalking his prey in the forest, the lion was caught in the toils of a hunter's net. Unable to free himself, he filled the forest with his angry roaring. The mouse knew the voice and quickly found the lion struggling in the net. Running to one of the great ropes that bound him, she gnawed it until it parted, and soon the lion was free. "You laughed when I said I would repay you," said the mouse. "Now you see that even a mouse can help a lion." Identify which of the elements of plot is stated in the following sentences. Write E if exposition, RA if it is rising action, C if climax, F if falling action, and RE if it is resolution. Number 1. While the lion is sleeping, a mouse ran across its nose. Number 2. The lion is free from the net. Number 3. The mouse ran to one of the ropes and gnawed it. Number 4. The lion gets caught in a hunter's net. Number 5. The lion wakes up and catches the mouse. The lion takes compassion and lets the mouse go. Read each passage of a story, then answer the questions that follow. Number 1. A man is about to give a speech to a large audience on biology. Suddenly, he remembers playing with frogs and toads in his backyard as a curious child. He smiles at the memory and then begins to speak to the audience about a new, groundbreaking finding about frogs. What device is used in this event? A. flashback, B. in media res, C. middle point, D. chronological arrangement. Number 2. The Emperor of Rome was in the royal box that day and gave the signal for the lion to come out and attack Androcles. Which among the elements of plot is this event? A. Resolution, B. Climax, C. Rising action, D. Falling action. The big bad wolf is so scared of the three little pigs that he runs off in the woods never to be seen again. The three little pigs live happily ever after. Which among the elements of plot is this event? A. Rising action, B. Falling action, C. Climax, D. Resolution. Number 4. A superhero is struggling to figure out where his nemesis would keep a hostage. Suddenly, he remembers his nemesis saying, "Dark things happen in dark alleys." He hurries towards a hidden alleyway. What device is used in this event? A. Flashback, B. in media res, C. middle point, D. chronological arrangement. Number 5. There was once a stonecutter who was dissatisfied with himself and with his position in life. Which among the elements of plot is this event? A. Rising action, B. Falling action, C. Exposition, D. Resolution. You did a great job, grade 6. Thank you.